Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the club call. That is your chance to get in touch with us via the link that is on Toffee TV Premier. And the question is, which striker will Everton be bringing in on loan? Because we've been linked to about 7 of them today.
That's the question. That's what we want, though. We want the striker links.
We want the links. Full-on links.
It'd be nice to get them in.
I need the links. It's so hard.
Roasting in here, innit? Roasting. But,
Shea
Everton
Adams has been linked. So is somebody else from France.
Garassi.
Garassi Junior High.
Yeah.
Great show.
Was a great show back in the day.
Back in the day. They remade it and Drake was in it. Bet you didn't know that, did you?
No.
There you go. Bit of a Canadian TV drop there.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah.
There you go.
So there you go. Yeah, Garassi, because Callum Wendu, who's linked with Everton and Leeds,
Big wins.
seems to be moving from PSG to Rennes, which means Garassi. They're open to letting Garassi go.
Interesting. Apparently PSG are going in for Fofana as well.
Are they?
And Chelsea are going after Aubameyang. It's all happening.
Kicking off.
It's all kicking off.
It is all.
It's all kicking off. Yeah, don't forget you can get in touch with us if you're a Toffee TV Premier member. The link's at the top. Just give us a call. Who are you going to call? Us. That's the answer. That is the answer. Lots of things to talk about. New signings, the Villa game, the Chelsea game, the striker situation. Loads of things. No excuse. No excuse.
Onana, Cody.
Onana.
What's my name?
Lots of things to talk about.
Yeah, there's loads to talk about. So there you go.
Jay Adams is a strange one though, isn't it?
It's only a strange... don't forget Everton had watched Jay Adams a number of times when he was at Birmingham before Southampton took the punt on him. He's obviously had scored, I think he got 23 goals the season before Southampton bought him, or that summer. And he went to Southampton and he had a slow, very, very slow start in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net for Southampton. But he eventually did settle down. He's become a useful Premier League forward now. He's not prolific, or he hasn't been so far in the Premier League. But he does score different types of goals. Scored a great one against City a few years ago when Southampton beat City.
Yeah. Press as well, I think, as well.
Works hard. He's at a good age still. It's one of the... It's got the feeling.
Oh, it's so mad.
Like the Connor Cody thing.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's so
why would they let him out on loan?
Because
obviously...
It's more, isn't it? I mean, the Athletic are reporting it from the Southampton end.
Southampton end, that's where it originated first. And to be honest, look, he's been mentioned a couple of times in our lives, Jay Adams. People saying, would you take him and all that? And you would, because he's a Premier League striker, but he's not someone who you'd go straight away, yeah, Jay Adams is what we need. That's not how you'd look at it. But he is someone, I guess, who he fits into that bracket that he could play alongside Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well. He could say one of the wide places as well, because he works so hard. And we're in that situation, aren't we, where it's a dangerous thing as a fan, because you start off with like, oh, I want him, I want this type of striker, and then you see the games come and go like Saturday, and you think, oh God, if we'd have had Jay Adams on Saturday, would we have got something or whatever? Yeah. And the weeks go by, and then you go, yeah, he'd be all right, and then all of a sudden you almost like your expectation or your levels of quality that you're looking for drop.
Wait till you watch that match preview.
Exactly, for that, yeah. So, listen, if Everton were able to get him on loan with a view to a buy, then that's an interesting one, because, I mean, Southampton had Brozier and Adams last year, and they would be letting the two of them out. Doesn't kind of make sense to me, but has he fallen out with Southampton, or are they going in a different way? Do they think, no,
money, I suppose. Money, innit?
Our money, whatever, so... Don't know.
Apparently Southampton are privately
open to letting
them go, so they can use new funds for a new striker. Which is
so
weird.
All of a sudden he's not good enough for them.
Apparently so.
We'll see. I mean, there was obviously, reports in France today saying that Garassi is very, take it with a pinch of salt, but Garassi's close to joining Everton on loan because of, like I said before, Callum Wendu moving from PSG to Rennes. So there's a couple today, obviously. There's the Coventry striker as well.
Yeah, Victor
Gaiakeys, or however you say his name. He's another one. And they're just, there's 3, and obviously Brozier links continue, so there's 4 strikers, and there'll be others and others that Everton are looking at. So it's good because obviously, quite clearly, Everton are after a striker, which is what we all want. Yeah. We want 2, really, don't we? I've seen people saying, they want Che Adams and Emmanuel Dennis. I'm not sure Everton will get both of them, but you never ever know. So we'll see.
Leeds apparently are close to signing Sarr from Watford.
Oh, it's a good signing. He's another one. If you got him in, he'd have to play wide. See, that kind of signing made more sense to me than Dwight McNeil. But then Dwight McNeil brings a different attributes to that. But Sarr, his goal last week was incredible at the Hawthorns. This week, goal was brilliant. But yeah, he'd be a good sign. Leeds have got some good players, actually.
Yeah, they've recycled the squad quite well, haven't they?
Fair enough. Yeah. Sam says 2 loans for strikers would be great, 1 domestic and 1 international. And Alfredo says the way ours get injured, we need to. Couldn't argue. And Sean, making quite a generous offer from Newcastle, says we could lend you Chris Wood. We'll pass, thanks. Yeah. We will give that one a pass. Well, thanks very much. Yatesy wants Cavani, who's someone you've been banging on about.
Well, he is there. I mean, he is there. Let's explore the options.
Liam still wants Brozier. Yeah. He's the one I want, to be fair. He's the one I want. Colin says, isn't Adams an Evertonian?
No, it's just that his middle name's Everton.
There you go. RCO2 says, Che Adams strikes me as a similar thing to Cody. Like, why are a team that are struggling given another Prem, one of their best and most consistent players? It makes no sense. Che Adams won't be incredible at anything, but on loan with an option is unbelievably low risk for us. All on him to prove his value. He has 0.45 goals assist. Is it that goals assist? He's put per 90 with Southampton, so as a backup. Who we know can do it in the Prem. That'll be pretty good business. Everton Viking says Che Adams is robust, physically good, strong, fast, and can score 8 or 9 goals a season, which I believe he'd score more at us. We can't be turning in our noses up at that. I think he's a decent option, especially on loan with a view to buy. Bill says decent player, but like someone more prolific, but as a backup, he's better than Rondon. And Everton Viking says with the budget we have, I don't think we're going to be getting someone who's prolific with over 10 goals a season, to be honest. He's got 9 last season and 8 the season before. Could score more with us, but I think we have to be a bit realistic.
No, that's absolutely right. I'm not sitting here dismissing any of these links, because I just think that Everton know that whoever comes in will be competing with Dominic Calvert-Lewin once he's back fit. But we have to have something. We have to have something up front. I don't think we can, persist with Rondon for 3 months or whatever Dom eventually turns out to be. I just don't think he's got the legs, and you need someone. You've seen that on Saturday. The not having a striker is just, it can't.
Who'd you rather have, Adams or Brozier?
It's a difficult.
One's proven.
I think Brozier's size is a good feature, but he is unproven. But he is a big lad as well. How many goals would...
So Adams got 3 more than him last season in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. That I wouldn't dismiss. I think Che Adams has come on leaps and bounds since he's been playing a lot of games for Southampton. I think, he started playing international games for Scotland as well, scoring goals for them. He's not prolific.
And he was in the Championship, mad, isn't he?
Richarlison prolific? Really,
double figures every year. Though.
Yeah, I mean, but if he could get, say, close to that.
He's got 8 in the season before last, and he got 9 last season. So could he get more in Everton's team? Or maybe Southampton, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
it's difficult, isn't it? But what I would say is, though, he is more of a centre forward any day of the week than what we've currently got available to us. And you have to take all that into consideration. Everton I'm not saying Everton are scrambling round. They're obviously just putting the feelers out and seeing who's available and what fits the role and what have we got left in the finances. I mean, Everton could be looking around going. It's a difficult one because obviously if they bring him on loan, that's the end of the Brozier situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they might be looking and thinking, well, we'd rather get someone from abroad because then we can still got the option of Brozier. But you've got to, you can't just put all your eggs in one basket. They've got to understand that. But if they did bring him on loan, then the Brozier situation's over.
At least you know, then,
yeah. Listen, I've said that beggars can't be choosers right now. We do need a centre forward, and we need someone who can play up front, someone who can pin back the opposition, someone who can give them, the opposition a game. And I just don't think we did that on Saturday. Thiago Silva played in slippers, and he's 37, and he really did play in slippers. So,
yeah, he should have been one we played on at the weekend. Bill says Adams and Garassi linked. Yeah, Alfie Boy says wish we could just go out and sign a proven goal scorer. Money, Alfie, isn't it? Loads of teams are scrambling around for proven goal scorers. Chelsea, you see that? Look at how big Chelsea are and the money they've got, and that looks like they're hanging the hat on 33-year-old Aubameyang.
Yeah, I mean, obviously those two players you mentioned, Brozier and Adam, the difference is there's definitely a difference in height, isn't there? Che Adams is 5'8".
I thought he was bigger than that. Is that all he's down? I thought he was 5'10".
Nearly 5'9".
He's big. He's like
strong. He's a different kind of striker, isn't he? He's a player that you play the ball through channels to. He's not someone who's going to win headers. So he is a different kind of player. But he might just be keeping their options open and just putting the feelers out and seeing who's available and who's not available. And there mightn't be anything happening right now. It's just a case of, obviously, we know what the media like to get hold of these stories really early, so.
Interesting, isn't it? Interesting. Paz says I'll be controversial and say the club has not really made a bad decision since Rafa was hired. Do you mean since? Oh, okay, you're curing the firing of him. Letting Thelwell get on and restructuring the club. I'm hopeful for the future. Good. Lou says will defo take Adams, can play wide as well like Richie. Doesn't hurt that his middle name is also Everton.
Grassi's nearly 6'2".
Yeah.
So that's obviously
he's powerful. He's more of a
I want him.
He's more of a
he's more of a normal man-sized height.
All right. Well, not really, but freak size. But yeah. Ricky Kane on the super chat. Nice one, Ricky. Says buzzing with the signings coming in. We just need a striker now and I'll be happy with the window. With a good striker, where do you think we'll finish? Oh. Honestly, Ricky, I've no idea. Everton have done well in the transfer market, in terms of there's areas that we really needed, and we seem to have gone and got players in those positions. I think there's talented players in the squad anyway. I've said that before. Everton could quite easily finish with a striker that scored an average amount of goals. I'm not talking, 15, 20 goals, but maybe like 10, 11 goals when Dom comes back. Everton could finish anywhere from 9th to 16th, I think. That's what the league's like. But I imagine Everton 10th, 11th, I think. But then again, if our players come in, and if Gana comes in and Onana, and we get it organised, we don't give the amount of goals away we did last season, and then you're scoring goals, you can finish higher. West Ham flipped a team that stayed up, were in trouble, and Moyes steadied the ship. So the next season getting into Europe and then building again and then being strong again and getting into Europe again. That turned like that with not many signings and average players. But don't get me wrong, Declan Rice is fantastic. and he's got a couple of other ones, and he's bought really well, Moyes, but they were able to turn it round quickly because they didn't give stupid goals away. They were solid. And then they done well with the structure, and they got goals in nick games.
And again, they've got two players who probably score 10, 11 goals. You know, Antonio and Bowen. Yeah, you know, it'd be interesting what the other kid does who's just come in. But you know, they've got those two who scored, you know, score around, you know, just into double figures, and with a solid back line, and you know, you mentioned there, Rice in the middle, that propelled them to a really good finish. And they were solid and they had a threat, and that's all it's about. At the moment, I think I look at us and go, I think defensively we'll be all right, but we've got to have a threat.
Look at Wolves last season. Wolves were 8th for ages. I can't remember where they finished. Was it 9th or 10th? They were 8th all season because if you looked at their thing, they were 1st and 2nd in the defensive side of the game. They hardly scored goals. I think they had like a goal a game or something.
Well, they were.
But defensively, they were brilliant.
Did they lose the first 2 or 3 last season? And then they brought in Hwang, and then suddenly he started scoring goals. Definitely the first 2 they lost, I think. And then they brought in Hwang, and that changed their fortune. Suddenly they had a threat, and then the other kid came back, didn't he, from injury?
Jimenez. But he didn't get loads of goals.
No, but he was a threat, wasn't he?
Yeah, oh God.
He was a threat.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're talking about. Having a proper centre forward who brings other players into the game. We didn't have that on Saturday. And will we have that this Saturday? That comes down to what the manager picks and what's in Rondon's knees. But Everton have got to have that going forward. And that's what...
Wolves last season scored 38 goals. And conceded 43. They lost a couple of games heavily near the end of the season, but they scored 1 goal per game. They finished 10th on goal difference from Brighton. And now everyone talks about Brighton were great and blah, blah, blah. Brighton had 3 goals better goal difference than Wolves. Brighton only scored 42 goals in them 38 games. They only conceded 44. So if Everton could get, you know, be solid at the back, Everton could be solid at the back and not give goals away. You know, what did Everton score last season? Everton scored 43 goals last season. 5 more than Wolves. They conceded 66, which is embarrassing. You know, so if Everton conceded more goals than Burnley, obviously scored a lot more as well. But if Everton could cut the goals up and just become really tough to play against, same like West Ham do. I think West Ham, what did they concede? Ironically, West Ham conceded 51 last season, but scored 60. If Everton could become more robust and nick games, then they could finish quite easily halfway up and not be in any danger. Yeah. But you're absolutely right. We need players at the other end of the pitch who can put the ball in the net, because you can't nick games all the time. You have to have that real threat when you break. Everton don't always have that threat. They haven't got anyone at the moment. So
lots of comments coming in at the moment from our Toffee TV Premier. Give us a call. Get on the
link's there. Just click the link and off we go.
Stick some headphones in and have a chat with us about it. Come on, because once that first one goes, once you pop, you can't stop.
You literally can't stop.
It's better. Let's hear some of yous rather than us talking. Sick of Baz's voice. It's so annoying.
Thanks, mate. Ross says hopefully over to Chelsea will speed up the Brozier transfer. They've just come out, haven't they, that Chelsea look like they're the favourites for Frankie de Jong now. And Aubameyang. So, interesting. Barcelona, man. Imagine if Chelsea get de Jong now and United have chased them all summer. Isn't that true? I know we're not here to talk about Manchester United, but isn't it madness, United's strategy?
Mate.
He's the one they've wanted all summer.
If I was a United fan,
tearing your hair out.
You've heard my thoughts on Everton, so imagine United.
You'd be tearing your hair out because they've got the funds. They know they've just room and they're so cash ready, and they spend money in areas. Why aren't they if he's the number one, if he's who the manager wants, and he's a good young footballer, he was brilliant at Ajax. Why wouldn't you make sure he was the first in through the door?
They're cheap.
But why, when they blew so much money?
The Glazers don't put money in, they just take money out. They're cheap.
Yeah, but they spend a lot of money every summer, mate.
They're cheap.
They're weird. They're weird.
Cheap. The sponsors are starting to pull out as well. You know, their kid sponsors pulling out next year as well. They're not making, the sponsors who come in aren't making any money from it. United have levelled out as a football club. They're not making the money they used to make, and the Glazers are just not putting the money in anymore that they used to. You can see that they're just cheap. Arnautovic. And that Arnautovic deal got stopped because that many season ticket holders were getting involved, saying we don't want this fella because it's some of the things that he said in the past are horrific, and fans don't want to. And there's already talk of fans boycotting the Liverpool game a week on Monday. And
yeah, sure.
I'm not. Gary Neville said it on Sunday. He said it's time to sell. But have you heard who's trying to launch a deal?
To buy them?
Yeah. Michael Knight.
Shut up.
Honestly.
He's not still going.
He is.
Stop
honestly,
it.
He's going to come on the pitch with his kit and do keep-you-ups. That's one of the greatest moments in football history.
It was.
You have to be old to understand that one, but it was amazing.
Difficult. Peter Schofield says with recent signings, is 18 still a concern? 18 was never a concern. Never a concern. Martin says it was in the lower Bullens on Saturday and they ran out of cups at half time, so couldn't have a drink. Honestly, it's like the club doesn't want our money.
I know. I've said this a million times.
Hard to listen to. It'll be better at Bramley-Moore. I think it will be.
Maybe that's why they're happy with people charging £6 for a pint in the fans thing. Go outside the zone. It forces people to go inside and get a bevy maybe.
Martin says also, why don't they just pour a load of pints before half time to speed up the queues?
Remember, they did have those multi-pints in the Gladys Street.
You're not going to have them in the low Bullens, mate. There's not a chance. Mate, in the upper Bullens, it's... Yeah.
The answer will be, we're leaving in 2 years. The same way as that I've been banging on about rail seating in the Gladys Street, and now they're telling everyone to sit down in the Gladys Street, and that's just not going to happen, by the way. Nobody's sitting down in the Gladys Street this season. Well, maybe in the winter. But literally, they put things up going, we're going to get fines. Like, remember when you had the chance?
Get fined for standing up.
Remember when you had the chance to put rail seating in? Why didn't you just do that? We're leaving
On YouTube says, Ivan Toney loaned to buy 15 to 20 million.
Not a...
They want 50 million for Ivan Toney. 50 million they want.
I'd love it. I think he'd fit us brilliantly, but it ain't happening.
Yeah, they want 50 million pounds for him. Carl says the more the struggle to find a striker goes on, the more confusing the McNeil signing looks. Surely a striker was a bigger priority. That 20 million could have gone towards Brozier. But Chelsea don't want to sell Brozier. They just want to loan him. And who else could they have got? I think the players they've brought in so far, Carl, I think you've just got to let this play out. The players they've brought in all improved the squad, the team and the squad. So I don't think we should really sit here questioning what they're doing right now, other than we know there's a need for a striker and we have to bring at least one in. But I think they've, with what they've got so far, I think they've earned a little bit of like, right, let's just trust them for the next couple of weeks. We can all say it once the whistle goes on, once the window slammed shut, as it always does on transfer deadline day. Never gently, just close it.
Those windows or those doors where you push it and then it closes itself the last little bit. Why doesn't it do that?
Soft cushioning, close.
Right, we've got Matt on the line. Matt, are you there?
I am. I've got sketchy internet right now. So
where are you calling from?
St Thomas in the Caribbean.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, fair play to you.
That is.
I thought you were going to say Lidland or
something,
but
so that's fine. That's fine.
I don't live here. I'm just I'm on a cruise on my balcony.
I mean, that's even better. See, that's even better because that means that we're better than a cruise.
Yeah. So fair play.
We can put that on a poster.
On a t-shirt.
What? You're the best entertainment on board right now.
I'll tell you what.
There you go.
Tell you what.
Mustn't be a great cruise.
Go on, mate.
Go on, Matt.
I just wanted to say my piece about what's going to happen this season, what I think is going to happen this season. And that's Frank's going to lose 3 or 4 games in a row. And I'd like us to do the opposite of what we normally do and get more behind them than we ever have. Because I don't want to give this owner any excuse to think there's any discontent.
Yeah.
And I don't mean we can't criticise him, because we all know he makes mental substitutes and the starting lineups we've all questioned, but that's not the same as criticising him and wanting him gone. I think we need to show that support that he's going to need, let him know the fans are behind him, and I think he'll get through those patches. We'll be better. We'll all be better for it.
Yeah, we were talking before, me and Baz, the podcast that he's on, and obviously the videos on with Jake Humphries.
High performance podcast.
Towards the end, he asked him what he thought of what the future held, and he actually said probably going to be a tough next 6 months. He was very honest about it, wasn't he? So I think he appreciates that it's not going to be plain sailing for this season. I think we all appreciate that, and you're absolutely right. If we feel like things are going in the right direction, then yeah, I think all of us have to be a little bit more patient, don't we? Because I think Everton have got this, from the outside now, people are looking in going, Everton are 3 games away from disaster all the time. And obviously I think that starts with us as a fan base, and maybe we have to be a little bit more patient and let things play out a little bit. I know that's not always easy as a fan in the way it is now with the era of media. But if we think things are going in the right direction, I suppose it starts with us.
I think Frank does have the best starting point of any manager in recent times. Benitez was never going to be allowed to lose 3 games in a row, and I don't think anyone like Koeman at the end, Martinez. I think we all got a positive attitude after terrible performances. But Frank's got a clean slate, and I feel like he will get away with it. But if we could have banners supporting him and show that and that kind of thing, stop the owner getting an excuse to just pull the trigger.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, Matt. I think we do. We have to show the support. I think he's got it. I think the fans see that. I think the fans are starting to see that there's a little bit of a plan, or that's how it looks anyway, recruitment-wise. I think him and Kevin Thelwell are working well together. And there will be difficult times, because it's just the nature of it. And the difficult times might be in the first part of the season, because we're still trying to bed people in, we're still trying to get a forward in. We've had 2 injuries already, bad injuries. So it might be early on that we have to stay together. But I think the fans will. The fans were fantastic last season when the club needed them. And I think we're all a little bit sick of just constantly changing managers. How can we ever buy into one if you're always couple of games away from going, he needs to go. So I'm sure they will.
All backroom staff you lose, and all
exactly.
That's gone and all that. Hey, the other day I heard you guys talking about Onana, and I think Ped was almost appreciative of the work Bill did. Is he having
that's absolute nonsense. You need to clean your ears out. That internet you've got on that cruise is definitely sketchy. Maybe you were you had the pina colada in one hand, there was a girl dancing on your shoulder in the other, and you just misheard what I'd said, because there's just no chance on earth those words would ever
He's obviously, it's part of that deal. He's obviously, if you forget about everything else, I think in the negotiation thing and all that's something he's got loads of experience at. So he probably is decent at that stuff. I think it's a lot of the other stuff and what he enables, I think is where the question mark comes. It's not him actually sitting down doing a transfer deal. He can, because obviously Kevin Thelwell does a lot of it, but obviously Bill Kenwright must be doing the other side of it.
Wizard of Oz tickets, that's what
they're fantastic.
Wizard of Oz tickets, that's all.
They're fantastic.
He can get you into any West End show, Bill. So you just, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, Bill sorted for you, part 1 and 2.
There you go.
Good stuff.
I'm not a Bill fan either, but I couldn't get the chance to just hang his chain there. I just detected something.
Yeah, you've always got it. Yeah, he wasn't as critical as he normally is. So
yeah.
All right. Enjoy your holiday.
Tuesday topic, by the way, was brilliant.
Thanks, mate.
Nice one, Matt. Listen, enjoy your holiday.
You're saying holiday? He's the captain of the bleeding ship.
Oh, is he? Okay, enjoy your job then.
I'm a higher rank than the captain. I'm a passenger.
Yeah, true. Very true.
There you go.
Take it easy, Matt. Have that pina colada. See you later, mate.
I mean, you say that, but you won't. If the ship goes down, you won't be on it.
No, exactly.
So,
exactly. God, you've gone full thingy there. Full dido on me.
I mean, at the end of the day, someone has just called from the Caribbean on a cruise ship. Yeah. What's your excuse for not calling? Sorry.
When you're sat at home in your bills.
Yeah, you are in your bills with the fan on.
Yeah.
Going, maybe we should.
Oh, we should have nicked their fan.
No, I bought one.
No, but we should have nicked theirs because they've gone. There's one in that room, no one's there.
I bought a fan.
So what? I might go and get it in a minute.
Ned, go and get the fan and get me some water while you're there. Please.
And get us a cup of tea, Ned, and see what else you can get.
You work for me. I don't need to say please.
It's basic manners.
Stop playing up to this, because when there was no camera on, you were telling them how much you love them, so stop it. Tom says, I'll be made up if we get the Gana deal over the line, but if the financial package becomes too expensive, considering his age, I'd rather us go and get Mo Camera from Salzburg.
But it's not about the financial package, it's about him and PSG.
Yeah. Our bit's done, Tom. Like, when I say done, sorry, our bit is like agreed in principle with what his wages are and stuff like that. He's had no medical yet. It's him and PSG to sort out. But you're right, if it drags on and they're not going to pay it, which I don't understand why they wouldn't. While you're running in with like Yerry Mina legs holding a fan.
Ned,
fair play, Ned.
You are looking more like the child catcher every day.
When he does that dance, he looks like the...
Josh Foy says I'd call in, but I'm in work in Canada. That's not an excuse. Literally just had someone on a ship in the Caribbean.
Just quit.
And just quit and call. That should be the new slogan, quit and call. Okay.
Well, you're not getting any because we're here under the lights.
You're
away from the
lights.
Over
there. You're over there getting hot and bothered with Paige.
I know. So, listen, Mo Camera. I would take Mo Camera over Gana because he's younger. No, Gana's excellent, and I think he'd do a really good job for Everton. Mo Camera's younger. You'd get more, sell on stuff and all of that. And he would be cheaper than Gana, of course he would. But it like Pez just said, not really about that, mate. The hold up is between PSG and Gana. So if he gets that sorted, then Everton will be obviously delighted to get him in.
Right, we've got another caller. We've got Degsy on the line. Degsy, can you hear us?
Hi guys, how are you going?
Go on, mate.
All good, Degs. How are you, mate?
Good to hear from you.
I'm fine. I'm really good. I'm not in the Caribbean. I'm in sunny Southport.
Yeah, feels like the Caribbean. It's roasting.
Basically the same.
I've moved my care home, and I'm now in the land of seagulls.
Okay.
So I'm doing it. Now, before we talk about Everton, can I just, people are tightening their their purse strings and everything.
Yeah.
I've just had a toucan bar from Morrison's instead of a penguin.
Okay.
Highly recommended. Half the price.
Jag biscuits are the future. We used to have lots of Jag, but we don't really eat chocolate and stuff in the studio anymore, do we?
Could do with once a day, though. Feel like this little chocolate bar.
I don't know if you guys are from the generation when your aunties used to come home from Jacob's with the broken bits on a Friday.
I mean, that's not what
accidentally.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that. Yeah.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah. They were accidentally broken on that shift.
Yeah. In the big clear bag.
Yeah. So I was there on Saturday. Very enjoyable. I thought good performance overall. It's looked more positive. I was happy. I do honestly think the penalty was the only thing that sort of, made them different to us.
Yeah.
I thought we had better chances, but without a striker. I don't think they created a lot in chances, did they?
No, they had not. They had the block by Michalenko late on. That was really their only clear chance they had.
Yeah. And the offside goal.
That was it.
Isn't it amazing how one man can make such a difference to a defence? With Tark.
Long may continue.
That's to be because he's the only one left standing.
Well, yeah, but it just looks solid, didn't it? Even when Mina went off, it still looks solid. Because the man's just in charge, isn't he, of the whole thing? He just looks in charge of the game when he plays the game.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have Cody to come in.
Yeah.
Well, you're hoping, really happy.
You're hoping, aren't you, that those two strike up a good partnership and we stop giving away cheap goals? That's the big thing for me.
As long as I'm touching wood, by the way. As long as they stay fit, I think we've got. I don't know how to describe this. I don't want to go over the top, but I think they're the most in charge centre halves on a pitch in the Premiership. Do you know what I mean? They're both talkers.
Both leaders.
You're both leaders, And Pickford's looking more like a leader every game, although he's got over his bloomers in one game, I hope. And Mika's looking good at left back. Patterson had a good game, So we get this midfield sorted, and hopefully a striker. I think we could. I'll be happy at mid-table.
Yeah.
But
as long as we're not involved in any drama.
Yeah, no dramas this year, and give us some happy times at Goodison. And let's have the odd. We used to always come up with a one wallop a season, didn't we?
Yeah.
We used to always have a one good 6-0 or a 5-0, and you go home happy.
We haven't done that for a while, have we?
We haven't done that for a while. So hopefully, if we could get I don't know what the stance is with Brozier, but that lad looks class, doesn't he?
Big, and he's a big lad, isn't he?
I didn't realise for such a long lad how big he is.
Yeah,
he's like a bull, isn't he?
Yeah,
and he's got pace and everything. But I've got to be honest, Chelsea would be stupid to let him go out alone.
We've said that, especially to bring in Aubameyang, and you've got some options. If you were them,
you've got to guarantee Aubameyang games, haven't they?
And he'll score goals for them, of course. He will. And they have Havertz that plays up there as well, but. So they might be thinking, get Brozier another year's experience and then next summer use him, maybe.
Well, I think it's the way to go if we can afford to get one. We can get one more local loan in, is that right? One more English loan?
One English and one from Europe. Yeah. One international loan, rather not necessarily Europe, but another international loan.
He's looked like the most likely I'd like to come in from what I've seen of the strikers. But the lad at Coventry, if you can buy him, he had a great season, didn't he? So
he's got 17 goals. I'm not sure how ready he is. He's 24. I'd prefer if he was a bit younger. But Coventry, I imagine, need the money. I mean, they can't even. They're having games cancelled because their pitch is destroyed. So they must need money. So,
the pitch has been getting played on by everybody, isn't it? Because it's owned by someone else.
Isn't it community owned or something? So But he gave that up, didn't he? They wanted to go back to their own, which they did. But obviously,
are they back at Highfield Road then?
Not Highfield Road, but the back. It is with the Rico Arena back where they are now, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh,
sure it is, but it's not owned by. You should be owned by them, but it's not owned by them anymore. I think I'm right in that.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying about he scored 17, but to score 17 goals for Coventry City, that's not a bad return, is it?
No, it's just by the age of 24, you'd want something a little bit sharper, a little bit faster. He looks decent, don't get me wrong, but could he?
Yeah.
Could he do that? We were talking about Che Adams before, because obviously he's been linked today, and he got 23 goals, 22, 23 for Birmingham. Yeah. When he was a bit younger.
I've never been a fan of Che Adams.
No, but they were the numbers he was posting, and he's come into the Premier League, and he's had. I think the first season he might have got 1 or 2 or something. Then he got 8. Then he got 9.
Yeah,
it's just showing how difficult it is. Dwight Gale's the perfect one.
It is, but the lad at Fulham had a crap season and he's bounced back. And look where we started this season.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean the first goal was an own goal and the second one was a pen. But he's claimed both. We'll see how Mitrovic does. He might do really well for Fulham, but my guess is he get 10-11 like he did last time. But you never know.
Rated him, to be honest, but there we go.
He's big and strong, isn't he? But it's not no pace.
Okay, I don't want to hog the calls today. I just wanted to let you know I'm back and settled.
It's right, made up, mate.
And get down to Morrison's and buy yourself some toucan bars.
They're the one, mate. That's the one. That's the takeaway. That's the takeaway.
Don't bother with the 1.99 8 penguin bars. Buy 99 pence and get 8 toucans.
There you go.
There you go, guys.
There you go. Or go on a diet. There you go.
Well, I don't have a tummy, so I don't need to.
All right.
So there you go.
Nice one, Degs.
All right.
Cheers, mate.
Take care, Degs. Ta-ra, mate.
All right, guys. Good to be back.
It's right, Degs. Stay well, mate. See you soon. Ta-ra, pal.
Oh, next night out, let us know.
Excellent. Will do, mate. Take care.
All right.
Ta-ra. Ta-ra, Degs.
It is the Rico. It's just got a different name now. And apparently they were playing all Commonwealth Games stuff there, like the sevens, rugby and stuff
so
like that.
So it's just been, yeah.
So
it was always going to be, wasn't it?
There you go. There you go. Get in touch with us. If you've got any chocolate bar suggestions that you can give us.
Advice, chocolate bar advice.
Well, it is, isn't it? It's a standard. I mean,
Dexy went full Martin Lewis there.
He did,
didn't he? Knows the energy prices are gonna go through the roof
Dom
again.
Livingston thrown in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't get Dom. Don't get Dom. Get Degs.
Bit of consumer advice. That's what the show offers you.
That's it. James Barras on the super chat. Thank you very much, mate. Says Sasha Kalajic looks like a proper Everton forward. 6'7", good in the air. Any chance it's happening? It's the Stuttgart lad, isn't he? And obviously linked with United as well. He's had a knee injury, which is a little bit of a worry. He's a big lad. He's only 24, I think. Don't know whether he's mobile enough. I think what Everton might be doing is looking at a forward that can play through the middle and wide as well. So if they play 4-3-3, they've got similar to what Richarlison did for us. And
physical.
Kalajic isn't that player. He's a back to goal, like number 9 kind of striker, who would score goals, but again the knee injury is a little bit. So we'd have to see. Toffee plays his thoughts on Belotti.
Not for me.
No. For that reason as well. For that reason that he could only play through the middle. He's not quick, mobile. He's 29. He did get a lot of goals in Italy. Mind, who knows?
Super Cup tonight.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Fair enough.
There you go. Just
Brilliant.
public information. That's all.
There you go. Peter says, "What do you think about Ryan Ashley? He's on loan at Accrington, isn't he?
Scored last minute on goal.
Did he?
And then Tamir went through on pens.
Oh no. Paige is waving at me. Fair play. We've got another caller.
Mathew.
We've got Mathew online.
Which Mathew though?
I don't know. So let's go and have a chat with Mathew. See how he is. Mathew, are you there? Are we there, Mathew? Hello, Mathew.
Oh.
Hello. Oh, can I hear some noise? Mathew?
Oh.
Mathew? I can't hear him.
Can't hear him.
Can you hear him, Paige?
No. How can he have worse internet than a fella on a ship in St. Lucia?
Who knows?
How does that happen?
I don't know. Mathew? Try again, Mathew, please, if you're listening. Try again, mate. Okay. Well, tell us when he's ready. Lou says great to see Stan Mills signing a new contract as well. Looks like the best of a current bunch. Okay. Dick L is in the comments.
Oh my God, the man, the legend.
The man, the legend. That is Dick L. Today I was having a crafty pint after work while the wife thought I was delayed leaving work. So I admired the decorative pint glass that I stole it. Oh, put it in my bag and vacated the area quickly. But this theft has got me thinking about Everton's attempt to steal young players from other clubs.
What?
Dick he's like a Sherlock Holmes, isn't he? I was wondering whatever happened to George Hurst and James Carragher. 2 players we really coveted at one time. Do you think we still have an interest, or do you think we got a result by not signing them? Well, Carragher. George Hurst plays for Leicester. Ish. He's on their books. And
Carragher made his debut last night for Wigan in the Carabao Cup. They got beat by Fleetwood. So there you go. Don't need to know anymore, do you?
Yeah.
I got a nice pint glass from Minnesota, from the brewery.
Fair play to you.
They were giving them away, I was told.
Apparently, yeah. Bill says, I think we need 2 forwards, one who can play wide and one who can play as a target man. Steve P96 says, finally made the switch to Premier, courtesy of Ned.
Was Ned paying for him?
Ned's sorted it.
Why wouldn't you be on Premier?
Gary Ward has welcomed him. Gary's our official welcome.
There's an exclusive daily live show, and there's going to be another show every day as well.
Exclusive videos as well as live videos.
No one can hear you. You've got a mic.
What he said was exclusive videos.
You've decided to abandon your station and go and sit over there. What are you drinking?
Espresso hot chocolate.
But why are you drinking it out of like a cup that you get from like
he's literally
a machine?
Yeah, you've got it from the machine.
When did we get a vending machine?
Magical.
Okay. Chris Mowen says,
what, you're crying because you want to go home to your mum?
Shea Adams has developed a lot over the past few years in terms of being a focal point. Lou says, didn't Lampard sign Werner for Chelsea? Surprised we weren't interested at 20 million. He kind of did, but the manager doesn't sign players. Chelsea.
35 million though. Back to
25.
Or was it?
Mm.
There must be add-ons though, surely.
It must be, yeah. Keithy says, I'd take Che Adams. We only want a stopgap back up to DCL. Rozier will be more risky, more costly, and won't want to be second fiddle.
It'd only be a loan.
But he could play wide as well.
And it'd only be a loan.
Yeah. Peter says, why do people have Everton in the name? People in Brazil and England have it.
It's a name. It is a name. Everton is a name.
Mm.
It's a name, isn't it?
Matthew Baker says, would you guys rather sign a player with a similar profile to Dom, or someone who can be more versatile and play across the front three? In an ideal world, you'd want someone more versatile, but he could put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah,
Martin Terrier, I'd love.
I think someone who's a bit more versatile would probably make sense if we're only going to get one in.
Mm.
So that when Dom comes back, he can play as well.
Yeah,
we need more goals in the team.
Absolutely. James Warland says, think after Sunday in the window, getting a striker who can score 10 goals a season will sort us out. Can't see us conceding many this year. Backroom staff and Frank have done an amazing job over the summer. Sol says, evening guys, curious to know whether you've listened to Lampard's episode on the high performance. Yes, we have. Really enjoyable listen, great insight. What struck me was how open Frank is to changing things and learning. You had to predict, do you think he'll still be here come the new stadium? If so, when? Why? Then why? Well, because he basically referenced that on the high performance podcast, didn't he? He wants to be the man that takes Everton into the new stadium and build from there. So he quite clearly is. He wants to be here for a few years and put his own stamp on it.
Can I just say as well, though?
Oh, okay.
Cam is made a very, very big schoolboy out of there.
No, he's not.
He's made a big schoolboy.
I don't know what you're talking about. But
he's gone live.
Oh,
Cam, what are you doing?
That's up to.
What are you doing?
He's normally
Cam?
in our comments. Yeah. So hopefully, and we'll see. We'll see whether or not he does stay for that long. It'd be nice if he did, because it'd mean the club is settled and you'd really be moving along. So it was good. Adam says, I know Paddy's normally on the money, but please tell me he's not with this. Adams will be an unforgivably bad signing. He is beyond awful. We already have plenty of wide forwards who work hard and provide zero goal threat. He's got 17 in the last 2 seasons, more than any of our players. What is the point of adding another? I'd be so gutted if we went down this path. We've added well, have a chance to get right up the table if we add the right forwards. If we get these wrong, it'll be another relegate. Who would you have, Adam? Who would these mysterious forwards that people would have? Because it's difficult. It's difficult to, when you haven't got a big pot of money, to get players. And I've seen people not wanting Brozier, but Emmanuel Dennis is the one they all want. So Emmanuel Dennis has hit double figures once in his career, and that was last season. So he's not a guarantee. Derek says Baz's mic is a little low. Okay. Mathew back? Is he back? Can we hear him?
Can you hear us?
Mathew, are you there?
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Alright, sorry.
Is right. Couldn't hear you before, but we can now. So go on, mate. Take it away.
Well, basically, a few weeks ago, right? I had booked to. Well, I live in Glasgow, so a few weeks ago I booked to come down to Liverpool to go to Goodison for the first time. I was quite excited. I was going to see Man United, so we were going the Saturday, and then we'd come back on the Sunday. Yeah. But as I'm sure you're aware, the kickoff time got moved to Sunday at 7.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, do you think this is going to become a sort of more common occurrence where the TV companies are moving, not just for Everton, but for clubs across England, Scotland, and Malaysia, if you want to go there? Mm-hmm. Like, do you think that TV companies value the fans' experience less than the money that they'll make from getting the game available on television at a time where people can see it?
Yeah. Because
it's the short answer.
They know fans will come anyway. So, and let's be honest, right? If you're happy to show 12:30 kickoffs on a Saturday, which are terrible for atmosphere and terrible for, you know, just any.
I love the arse.
They're just awful. They're just awful. People are half asleep. They haven't had a chance to get a few bevies in them or whatever. If they're happy with that, then they're happy with anything. And I think what will happen is, eventually, is that every game will have its own time slot. Because why wouldn't you? You know, if you've got 10 games over a weekend, why would you have games clashing with each other? What you want to make every single game is special to the TV companies, and that means more TV companies can bid. Then, you know, you could have potentially. You wouldn't want this, but you could have 10 different windows. I mean, ultimately, what really the Premier League should be doing is bringing it all back in house and having it on an app. But then, but what you want is you want every game to be special. You want every game to be its own thing, and I think sadly that's the way they look at it. It's a global game. People who go the game don't always understand what other people go through, and I think you know, there's millions of people watching games. Maybe not always ours, but there's billions of people. But surely, if the Premier League is such a good product, you want every game to be big. And if Everton are playing, say, I don't know, Forest like they are next couple of weeks or next week Saturday, and that's a 3 o'clock kickoff, and then someone else is kicking off at 3 o'clock, a Manchester United, a Chelsea, a Liverpool, say, why would anyone watch our game on TV unless you're an Everton or Forest fan? And if you give them separate time slots, then that gets rid of that, and then every game becomes its own special event. And I think eventually that's what's going to happen. It mightn't be in the next 3 years. It might take 4, 5, 6 years, depending on when the next deal is. But that's what's going to happen. And sadly, you're right. You're going to get 8 o'clock kickoffs on a Sunday night. You know, 8 o'clock kickoffs on a Saturday night.
7 o'clock on a
8
Sunday night.
8 o'clock kickoffs on a Friday night, and 8 o'clock kickoffs on a Monday night. And you know, it becomes a 4-day weekend then for the Premier League to have games shown. And sadly, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. They especially don't care about Ned. So yeah, it's going to become harder to predict. And I suppose that's the only thing. Sorry, that's the only thing that they need to do is give everybody, say, a month. A month, or I think it's 3 weeks at the moment, but I think they should be giving everybody at least a month to know when a game is.
Do you think? I mean, it doesn't solve that exact. Well, not solve the problem, but it doesn't do exactly that. Do you think at least it would help the companies to get rid of the 3 p.m. kickoff rule, so the people in the country could watch the games when they happen instead of having to buy a subscription online?
I think they're desperate to get rid of the 3 o'clock rule or just get rid of 3 o'clock kickoffs. I think the only thing holding them back at the moment is that the TV slots at the moment are only sold for certain times, and that would have to be a change of the TV deals, or the legislation in terms of. I don't think we're ever going to get 3 o'clock live games. I think it's going to go the other way. I think what we're going to get is everything but 3 o'clock games on a Saturday. Sadly, I think that's the way it's going. I think what they'll say is, because the Premier League came out and went, we're getting rid of our 3 o'clock games, and we encourage football fans to go and watch the Championship and League 1, League 2 and non-league games, but all the other games are going to be on live. They're going to try and come out of it looking like they're the heroes of the situation, and they're not really. What they're saying is, well, we can't make a lot of money out of 3 o'clock kickoffs on a Saturday, so. Because ultimately they're not 3 o'clock kickoff. I mean, I'm sure there's somewhere in the world that's a good time for them. But if the main market, say America, that's it's 10 o'clock in New York, and it's 7 o'clock in LA. So that doesn't do them any favors. They'd probably be like, well, we like the 5 o'clock kickoffs. It's good for America. We like an 8 o'clock on a Saturday. That'd be even better for America. So I can imagine that's what's going to happen, and yeah, that 3 o'clock kickoff, I think in the next 4 or 5 years is going to become less and less used. We'll have to wait and see, but they don't care about us. They know we're going the game anyway. Football's never been as popular to go.
Right, well, there's other people trying to get on, so I'll head off now.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks. Cheers, Mathew. Good call, mate.
I hope you get a chance to see us as well, mate.
Definitely.
Yeah.
See you later.
Take it easy. Nice one, mate. Ta-ra, Mathew. Good call. Toffee Shaz says, could we ask Spurs for a short-term loan for Richie?
Well, he was back in Liverpool on Sunday.
There you go. Maybe he's having a medical.
Don't know what he'd come back for. But...
Yeah. Bainey says, afternoon boyos, really optimistic now the Lampard-Thelwell combination seems to be bearing fruit, with hopefully no interference, which is a huge positive. Thought Onana and Cody's interviews were great. Just come on, get someone to hit the net and some competition for Dom's return. Solid season to come, possibly 4 captains at the back, including Pickford. Great stuff. Come on.
Can I just ask you a question that's just got absolutely nothing to do with that?
Okay.
Are you arsed that the BBC got rid of the reading out the classifieds at 5 o'clock? There seems to be a lot of people who are really annoyed about this, and I think
it's more tradition. People like the tradition.
When you were a kid and you'd come back to the car and it'd be like 5 o'clock.
I did love that, I'll be honest.
See, I didn't, because what it did to me was it stopped me hearing, because they just go on for it felt like when you're a kid, and I'm not don't care either way, but it felt like when I was a kid the classifieds just took ages, absolutely ages. Like you'd be Stranraer 4, 445.
Yeah, but we didn't have.
Like, I don't care.
You didn't have phones and all that.
No, I appreciate
and
that,
so
but that's what I'm talking about.
I used to love hearing all the scores.
Now, though,
I'm not bothered now, but I'm saying people, traditions, isn't it? Once the traditions go, people, it makes you fall in love with something the way it is, and then it changes. That's what it is. I don't think modern day people would be interested.
When was the last time you listened to the classic?
No, God, I haven't listened to it for ages. Because we've got a phone.
Exactly. And I think you have there's always, when something changes, people go, oh, it's a disgrace, and you go, yeah, but when was the last time you did that thing? And they go,
but some people I'm sure do like listening to it all. Go, well, how did they get on? Because they mightn't be. Yeah, but
it doesn't
bother me. But I'm just saying, but for some people,
it is one of those things where you just people are at first are dead resistant, and you go, yeah, but when was the last time you listened to the classifieds? And there is that element of like,
because I think people feel like everything's been stripped away from what it was good.
Like when they got rid of the pink echo.
No, I know.
And the echo turned around and went, we hardly have any games on a Saturday, so what's the point of
the
pink echo?
I know, but it was against tradition. It was, don't forget, people, you consume football how you first fell in love with football, and you think that's the way it'll be, right? It's like now, football now is nowhere near on the same level as when I started watching it. It was way better, miles better. There's all glitz and glamour, but the quality's worse.
But the way you consume it is completely
different.
No,
it is, but I'm saying. But when you look back, you go, yeah, and then it was the pink echo, and there was and all of this, and match of the day, and everything. It was great, and it was magical. Now, you've got everything at the touch of your fingers.
It's always magical.
Exactly, but people who had the classifieds will be remembering that. And it just feels like traditions just stripped away. You're talking about bombing the 3 o'clock kickoff there.
Yeah. And it'll happen.
I absolutely love half 12s. The game's done and out the way at half 2. I love it. I hate late kickoffs.
Dave, go on, mate.
I'd kick off at 9 in the morning if we could.
That's just a very selfish attitude.
Well, there you go.
Dave, you there? Hello, Dave. Dave, you're my wife now, Dave.
Dave? Big Dave?
Oh.
No?
Paige, are you trying to destroy this?
Paige just keeps cutting people off.
I can't look at the chat. No one can hear.
Okay, come back then, Dave.
Dave, you there? Hello, Dave.
Dave is back.
Dave, you there? Go on, mate. Go on,
mate. Dave. It's Dave. The Bobs. He's here.
Go on, mate.
Top man. How are you, mate? Lovely.
It's not it's
sounds
Wednesday.
A good night. It's all right, mate. It's like.
Can I ask you a question though, Dave? It's not a single-use barbecue, is it? Oh, that's good. That's good. That's fair. No, those single-use ones, they need to be banned.
Okay.
No, they do.
Selfish. Anyway, Dave, go on, mate. Go on. No.
option there. You know, I quite the other day I quite fancy a name I've never heard of, to be honest with you. Probably someone that's on your radar, Baz, or you know, so one of these ones that come from France, and you think, exciting. I've never heard of or seen him play.
Yeah.
But do you think there's an element of, you know, if he is available on loan and it kind of man he's up, that he's just bring him in on top of someone else, and you know, he might just give us something a bit different so we can then move Rondon on elsewhere.
See, I'd love that to be the case with two forwards. So I'd love it to be a Che Adams and another forward, because then you'd have hard-working type striker who can get double figures, and you'd have another forward player who can play wide or whatever, and Adams can deputise for Dom or even put Dom on the bench a few times and stuff like that. But I wonder if, you know, Brozier is the one I want, right? But Brozier is a gamble because he's had one season in the Premier League and he got 6 Premier League goals in 32 games, I think. They weren't all starts, but that was what he got. But he's a big lad and he's quick and he's strong and he's young. But there'll be other strikers around Europe who might get 15 goals for Everton. 10, 12, 15. But they may be one strike, like Gerassi's one we've been linked with the last couple of days from Rennes. He's a big, strong number 9. He can't really play wide. So he would, for me, be a like for Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
Whereas Che Adams, and I'm not, you know, Che Adams isn't someone I'm going, I'll tell you what, if we get him. But Che Adams is a lad who can play through the middle. But he's also someone who can play in the Richarlison position, off the left or even the right if you want. And he'll run all day because he works hard, he presses well. And his goals have got, once he's got used to the Premier League, he got 8 goals and then he got 9 goals. So you'd imagine in a team that, you'd like to think so anyway, in a team that might create him a few more opportunities, he might hit double figures with that. But he's not someone who's making me think, I'll tell you what, he might get us into Europe or something mad like that. He just is a Premier League striker who's all right. But it's like the same thing, Dave, is like, there's a pot of money, and we've said this regularly, haven't we, through the summer. There's a pot of money there, and you look at ways how you can spread that pot of money. And if you're now coming to the bit where you've got a little bit of money left, and it is glaringly obvious, Everton have wanted a forward. If Dominic Calvert-Lewin is 100% fit right now, and had just got a hat-trick on Saturday, Everton's still looking for another striker, because they were.
Yeah,
it's just the fact that he's out injured. But Everton are looking and going, well, you know, we might be able to get Brozier on loan or whatever. So now the question is, what do we do? Do we go and try and get 2 because Dom is out for 2 or 3 months? Or do we just stay on plan and say, right, we're getting 1 and we're getting Gana, and we'll muddle through almost with Dele and Rondon and this other fella until Dominic Calvert-Lewin comes back as well, and then we've got him back in the mix. So that's the interesting point for me. Is it 1 or is it 2 that they're going to try and get? I feel like it's going to be 1, but what do you feel like with that?
I think you're right. I think we'll go for 1. But I think there's a few deals knocking around there that might go to deadline day. And I can't see us doing a lot with the amount of players we brought in already on deadline day. But I think that might be the temptation then to dip in again. You know, if all of a sudden Watford drop their asking price, say for example on Dennis, or you know, or so, you know, as Mathew all of a sudden becomes available for a loan with an option to buy. You know what I mean? I think, you know, there might be a few deals out there that we don't expect that all of a sudden come up, and you think, oh, well, I didn't think that was a possibility, but now it's in the offing. You know, Conor Gallagher, another one. You know, speaking to a Chelsea friend today and got a season ticket there, and he was telling me that apparently behind the scenes that Tuchel's not actually totally overwhelmed by him. In pre-season, not to say, you know, he doesn't see him in the future plans, but the perception may have slightly altered on him. So you know, I think there's some of these kind of moving parts that we just can't see at the moment, that might come into play later on. So yeah, no, I agree with you, mate, and I think it may, you know, frustratingly, it may actually come down to that last day, but for the right reasons.
Hope so. I hope if it does, it's for the right reasons, because there's options out there, like you've just said, and things do present themselves, don't they? They always present themselves late on in the window. The problem Everton have got now, domestically, is there's now only one loan who they can have domestically. So, do we hang on for Brozier, or do we try to get the loan and spend a bit more money? If you could get, say, Garassi, just use him because he's linked again today, from Rennes for around 12 million quid, and Rennes are like, we'll take 3 million up front, and then it's 3 million the season after. Everton might turn around and go, actually, we can do that. We can do that 3 million quid, and that still gives us a loan. Although Rennes might say, take him on loan with a view to buy, because it's a European loan. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, certainly where that's concerned. Yeah.
I think someone might have your show on in the background, so it's echoing at the moment.
I can hear it getting played as well. And if it's not you, that means it's Ned or Paige.
Yeah.
Who are not happy enough to be in the room with me, but they then want to hear me on a monitor as well. So fair play to them.
Well,
Dave, let me ask you this, because this is something that's popped up on our live shows this week, and you'll know because I know you've been watching them. But if Everton had the pot of money and that enabled them to get Gana and the forward, or you had the opportunity to say, right, I'm going to leave Gana and I'm going to get 2 forwards instead, what would you do? Would you stay on plan with Gana and the forward, or would you say, no, we'll swerve Gana and we'll go for 2 forward players just because of the lack of goals? What would you do?
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it? You know, it is the catch-22, because I think Ped said the other day about, Gordon, he's not really, show me that he's going to hit 7 or 8 goals. Great. Probably not giving me any confidence that he's going to either. So yeah, it does leave that kind of, well, who is? So yeah, no, sorry, long way to answer your question, but I'd probably go with Gana. Go with, say, Garassi for argument's sake, and then I'd be loitering around the back end of the window looking for options.
I said you can only have 2, Dave. It's Gana and a forward, or it's 2 forwards. Stop trying to get Gana a forward and pinch someone on the last day. Just say there was only a pot of money for 2 more players. Okay, that's my question.
Gana and a forward.
Okay, sound.
Okay. We're solid, a team full of arses that are able for 38 games. Yeah. And we have, 10 1-0s and, a couple of games either way, then I think we'll be there or thereabouts. Yeah. I'll go with that option, mate. I'll be robust all day.
Sound. Is right, Dave. Nice one, mate.
See you later, lads.
All right, take care. See you soon, Dave. Ta-ra, pal. Ta-ra. It is a tough one, that, because Gana does improve our midfield, doesn't he? And improves the squad. And I don't even know if that's the case. I'm just saying, without thinking out loud, of going Everton want a forward, Gana deals there. Imagine if it was a choice, would it go with like an Emmanuel Dennis and a forward, or another striker, or would it go with stay on plan and get Gana and another? Steve P says, and I think we all know how good the defender Cody is, but I think people are underestimating how good his long passing is. One of the reasons Lampard wanted him. Hakan says Haaland's cousin, Albert Janland, it's no joke, is 6'1" and only 18, plays for Mold 2, big talent who's put loads of goals in through his youth. Considering Norway have a history about family members being on a high level, he might be a fine for the future. His value is €250,000. The cost of Norwegian players is on the rise, but that still gives you around the best value in Europe. Go and get him right now. Put him in, just on the gamble that he does become Haaland light, even. Steve says, loving the signing, lads, not getting carried away. Happy with mid-table, but lots of heart in players' performances and bring a few youngsters through. Yeah, I think that's good. Everton Viking says, I wish the club would bring back post-signing manager interviews. I thought this. And you probably go, I'm not asked, because that's kind of the way you look at it, but I like hearing the manager's views on the new signings. I don't understand why Everton haven't done something on Lampard, something like Lampard on Onana, Lampard on Cody, Lampard. I don't understand it. More content, easy to do.
Communication.
Easy to do. So I agree with you, Everton Viking. Also, realistically, Dom is going to be first choice when fit, and players know that. And knowing that. Is
he though?
Well, isn't it a case of making Dom not first choice? Or saying to Dom, if you're at your ultimate level, of course you're first choice. But if I was a striker coming in, I'd have a conversation with the manager and say, I know you play this way, but if I do well, is there a way that you play with me and Dominic Calvert-Lewin? And the manager is up to Lampard. And if you're someone like who can play wide as well, then of course you go, well, yeah, because I'd rather have your goals and his goals in the team.
Footballers are full of ego, though, aren't they? And also, if you bind someone, say, from France, well, you can instantly give them better wages. You know, someone like Che Adam, is he looking at Southampton and thinking, oh, I'll stay here, I'll play most games, or are you going, I'll go to Everton? It's Everton, for God's sake.
They're in trouble.
My middle name is Everton. I'm going there.
Tony Bourbon says backline looks to be solid now. With Godfrey out, will we be playing a high line? No, I imagine we'll be playing. Holgate will be the pace, won't he? But he's nowhere near the pace of Godfrey. Bainey says, I hope Coleman is match fit and they don't drop Patterson. Hopefully our captain still has a bit of pace. He can do what poor Godfrey was in the back three for. But Patterson will come into his own. And Bainey says, nice to hear from Degsy. It was lovely to meet him on the Payton night. Lovely man. Yeah, he's boss. Ned was waving, but I've seen nothing on the screen.
I know, you could just probably speak to Ned.
Toffee Chaz says, Premier has changed my life.
I mean, I'll be honest.
Toffee.
It changed my life as well.
You are the man,
It changed my life.
You are the man. And Gray Lee says, Dick L, he's alive.
He is. He came back yesterday.
There you
He's
go.
alive.
Derek, nothing. You are a Premier member.
Ned, have we got anyone else on the line? Astro. Why isn't it on the screen?
No, you were waving, but we looked up at the screen four times. There's nothing.
That's why we have a screen. That's why we have a screen with names go on them.
So we can look and go, right,
why are you the way you are? But
no, not really.
But you didn't say nothing.
No, he did. He waved and went like that. He mouthed it. So I was looking, thinking, when's it going to come up? And it never.
Astro deserves more respect.
It's poor.
It's poor.
It's poor from them.
Go on, mate.
What's up, mate?
Go on.
You got me. No.
Got you, yeah.
Got you, man.
No. I don't deserve any respect at all, mate. No.
Have you got the frog chorus with you?
Low.
Go on, keep talking, mate. Sorry, there's just weird noises.
Mate, I like coming in low and under the radar, mate. You know what I mean? Undetected before anybody knows, and then wow, how you like me now? I'm on top of everything. So, no, man,
okay.
I'm stoked. I'm listening. Like
you very much are.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if you told me on Wednesday that we would have brought in a defender like Cody and an absolute midfield unit like Onana, I'd have been like, nah. But we have, and it's great. My only concern is, you probably already answered this, is how are we going to pay for all this? Because I thought we were like skint, like old Mother Hubbard and the cupboard being bare and all that business.
Who told you we were skint?
Yeah.
I think we're paying for it by OnlyFans. No, I think basically what's happened is Everton have worked out deals that mean that it doesn't put them into financial peril. Basically, they've worked out deals that pay very little up front, spread the costs over the length of the contracts, and it doesn't put us in jeopardy in terms of FFP. And we've obviously satisfied the Premier League on that. And if we can get loans in and free transfers in, then we should be all right.
Listen, I don't care if we're doing the PayPal paying for or Klarna or whatever it is. I'm just grateful for it. Because this squad that we've been able to put together, like when I watched the match on Sunday, it felt completely different, right? It felt like we had a bit of, I don't know, like confidence that we never really had last year.
Yeah.
And like, even though, listen, at the end of the day, it was only a penalty, right? And that's all that separated the two teams. And we literally, like I said, my match reaction, we brought a broken toothpick to a gunfight. We didn't even have a knife. So if we can get some striking options up front, and you got this midfield coming together the way it is, and we got, Tart, the Great White Blue, and Toffee Shark, you got the Road Warrior, Connor Cody, you got this massive, crew coming together, and it's all a bunch of snods, and I love it. I hate them if they played for anybody else, but not that they're ours, they're the best.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm just, you know what it is? I'm overjoyed at the fact that I'm excited about the match. and I'm not dreading it. I'm not fearing it like I was last season. And it's a great feeling. And I hope everybody else is feeling it too, because it's a great thing.
No, it is. It's nice to have. It's nice to feel something when it comes to Everton. It's nice to have a little bit of excitement, especially in terms of new players. So and hopefully if we can get those strikers in that we need, then we can actually start looking like we can compete in games. And if we're solid, it gives us the platform, it gives us the foundations, and get fans more excited. That's football, isn't it? Be excited about going the game. That's all football fans want at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that the fans, right, like if they've got something that they can see, if they've got something that they can get behind on the pitch, right? I know there's lots of other things that need to be addressed and things that need to be improved, but let's just be grateful for what we've got. And we've gotten, in my opinion, this has been, up to this point, one of the best transfer windows that we've had, where we've bought the right types of players, where we've addressed the obvious needs, and long may this type of business continue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got a shirt sleeve sponsor. Like, look, I don't know what's happening next, right? I don't even actually know what to do with myself, because Everton is behaving like an organization that knows what it's doing, and it's a beautiful thing. And I really do hope it continues this way. But I've got this feeling, right? I've got this feeling that somebody's going to have to surgically dislodge Everton's foot from Villa's backside this weekend, and I'm just ready for it. Listen, we owe them like one of them like massive ass whoopings. You know what I'm saying? Like, we owe them. They're due. And I would love to see Connor Cody score a snide one and make some kind of gesture towards Gerrard. It would be beautiful. It'd be beautiful.
It would be beautiful. It would be.
I want to get under people's skin. I want folks that hate us worse than they already do, because they hate us because they ain't us to begin with, right? And then once we start whooping on them, it just makes it even better. It makes it even better.
Absolutely.
It'd
be fantastic.
Do you remember how we used to snatch Man City's lunch money from them from like 2010, 2013? We pushed them all over the playground, beat on them, took their lunch money, called them names and stuff, and took all the points. Well, let's start doing that again, like Brighton does to Man U right now. My father-in-law's beside himself. He hates Brighton worse than he hates Liverpool, and that's saying something.
That's basically where their level is, I think.
Brighton's been beating them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, they're coming around to realize that. It's a really harsh awakening for them.
Yeah.
But no, listen, if we can get 2 strikers in, and if we can get Gana in, then I'm going to be happy as a clown. And I won't ask for anything else other than the points. And please, no more injuries. Please, no more injuries. That Godfrey injury was brutal. Yeah. So what's the official Toffee TV prediction for the weekend, or am I getting ahead of myself? Is that going to come later in the week with some of that boss premier content y'all been putting out?
I don't do predictions. I'm not a believer in predictions.
I predict we'll play a match against Aston Villa. That's as far as it goes.
I don't believe. How can you have predictions when 11 minutes into the Premier League season one of your players breaks his leg?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm past predicting. I might as well predict what someone on LSD is going to do next. You know what I mean? It's Everton are just like Everton. The maddest things can happen. So I can't really sit here and go, yeah, I know what's going to happen, because I don't. So no, let's just hope.
It's like trying to figure out which member of the Trump family is going to get their house hit up by the FBI next.
Exactly.
It's like law enforcement bingo. You just never know.
Exactly. Boom. Astro drops the mic.
Astro drops the mic and walks off with Paul McCartney.
There you go. There you go. Nick, nice one for calling, mate.
Top man, Nick.
Yeah, cheers, guys. I missed the show up to this point, so I apologize if I repeated any questions.
No.
I'll have to. You know what? It's one of the best things about being a Premier member. You know what I'm saying? I get to go back and watch it all later if I don't catch it live. You know what I'm saying?
Top man.
You gotta get that value,
do me a favour.
Get that value. Y'all be good.
Astro, just do me a favour. Rewatch it and rewatch it and listen to this bit, and you will get a completely different perspective on it. Honestly,
it's a belter.
Honestly, I'm not gonna ruin the surprise for you, but.
Oh no!
No, it's fine. It's fine. But there's
you've got someone with you.
There's added sound effects.
It's amazing
when you're talking, and it's amazing. Honestly, it's amazing. It's gonna rejig your life when you listen back to what
You're definitely speaking to us from the Bayou.
Yeah,
definitely.
Honestly, you're in the Everglades. Honestly,
You're
right now,
somewhere,
it's amazing.
And now he's gone.
Has he gone? All right, there you go.
I told you, he's in the Bayou. He's in the Bayou.
Boom, boom, aye, aye. Boom, 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 aye, aye. That was amazing.
Gray says Ismail Sarr going to Leeds. Yeah, it's a good signing for them. Stuart says if we go all in for main striker like Brozier and 48 hours before the window ends, Chelsea say no way. Who's available at short notice?
That's why we've got to get it sorted now.
Adam says in answer to Bad's question, I'd be happy with Brozier, Terrier or Garassi. Plays like Dennis would not be my choice. Yeah, Terrier would be a lot of money though, Adam, but he'd be a boss signing. Steve says Baz and no Jeremy Doku is unrealistic at the moment because of how much they'd want for him, but you know when he's similar plays it costs less. We do need a lightning fast winger, but no, not really, Steve, not off the top of my head. Terry is a good one, but he's another one who's 30 million, but he got 20 odd goals last season. I think he'd be good for us. Glenn says there's Ned brought in some lizards, reptiles and amphibians. Brian says sounds like the Paul McCartney frog song accompanied by Astro. Yeah. Brian says gut feeling, Garassi for me scores different types of goals, but all a throw of the dice with these modest fees and loans. John's going to be our final caller. Bainey, I'm gone last two. Bainey says, how have you got on with Yellowstone, Ped?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I haven't been watching for the last couple of days, well, last week or so, because I've just been watching other things. But it is really good. It's mad, and they are like the stupidest family on earth, also. But there you go.
Ryanson says, gotta love Astro's amazing frog chorus. Yeah, there you 100% got to.
John, are you there?
I'm here.
Yes, St. Louis's own.
Yeah, you know what? I prefer headliner to last. If that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just want to say, damn, it feels good to be Premier. I mean,
there you go.
You know, every day is a good day when you're a Premier member. So, hey, so just a few things. So, I think I kind of mentioned this before, but, and again, I want to preface this by saying I am not predicting a top 4 finish or anything by a long stretch, but I don't know. I don't know how many people that are on here that are old enough to remember that 2004-05 season. Mm-hmm. But if you remember, we got destroyed by Arsenal in week 1.
Yeah, it's terrible. And
then the Moyes effect started taking over a little bit more. We started again because sort of grinding out wins and points, things like that. Mm-hmm. I think we've talked about this before, but because I was actually having a discussion yesterday with another Blue, an expat who lives in the States, and I feel so much better about our defense. Just like I feel with the way we're set up now, with the people we've got, with Cody coming in, and then I've also, I guess the other thing I wanted to mention too was, Baz, I think you've mentioned this before, Pat. I can't remember which one of you, maybe both, but when Coleman comes back, I think we've talked about. He would actually fit pretty well into our right side on a 3. You know what I mean? So I guess my question about Coleman would be, where do you see him fitting in? Do you see him as just simply back up and just cover for Patterson and, like I said, the right side of a 3? If so, I think that is an indication of how much better we are. You know what I mean? If Seamus Coleman doesn't have to play every week or doesn't even have to play, but he is our backup in those roles, I think that right there is an indication of how much better we are. So let me pause there, and I've got a couple of things more. So let's talk about that.
I think Seamus in a 3. I think he played there a lot for Frank last season, and I think he liked them there. And I think he's good 1v1. So, and I think he could help Patterson develop absolutely. Will he do that? I don't know. Is the answer to that? But he's got that versatility to play either right back or to play one of the 3.
He can't be a wing back anymore.
No, he can't.
He just can't be a wing back, can he? So that's actually a position that he can play in with people like Tarkowski and with Connor Cody, who can do the other side of it for him. They're the people who organise, and he can just get on with his game. But he can't be a wing back. Let's get that right. He could be a right back, but he can't be a wing back. We can't expect him to play high up the pitch and be getting back all the time. So yeah, he could play that. He could play that third centre back at times if needed. And if that opens the door for Michael Keane to go, and Everton can get some money in, then maybe that's a risk they're willing to take. But the other side of it is obviously Seamus Coleman will start to pick up more and more injuries. So you've got to look at it both ways and go, is it worth it? But if a good offer came in for Keane, then I definitely think the idea of him being able to play there, and also Mykolenko being able to play on the left-hand side as well, if push come to shove, might be enough for Everton to say, we'll get rid of Michael Keane.
Well, great example of, I think when we signed Vinagre, everybody was just kind of like ho-hum. But I think we saw in that first game the ability to bring in Vinagre at left wing back and move Mykolenko to, so that's the kind of thing that I think, we sort of just like, oh, well, but, that's Thelwell being proactive. Yeah. Right. And that's more of what I would like to see is, which I think I have faith, in Thelwell and Lampard to say, okay, well, can we be more proactive? Like, because in the past we would have been like, we played John Joe over there and Seamus over there and, made Ben Gordon into a, who, to be fair, was pretty decent as left back, but excuse my coughing. But yeah, so so there's that. But anyway, getting back to the 2004 these, I just do want to remind people that we did finish fourth one year with Marcus Bent as our striker.
Yeah, 5 goals he got as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, there's, as we say in I don't know if this is a phrase over there, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and I understand that it didn't look great going forward, but I would say on balance, I think we had more chances. They weren't maybe great chances, but I think about the ball into Delhi in the second half where he took the touch where he should just one-timed it or he should have dummied it to Gordon behind him. But, we were able to create some chances, and I think
the Marty Gray should have done better.
Yeah, and I understand that quality's quality, but we were able to. And again, Chelsea's no mugs. I mean, they are. They've got they've got a great defense. They're set up. They're not wide open, and we were still able to create some chances. So I think if again going into this week, I think this week against Villa, and again I'm pretty calm. I feel like, okay, we've sorted out a number of things. We've got more reinforcements coming in, but I do think this week is going to give us a better view of, because people say, well, where are we going to finish? Well, nobody knows that. Yeah. But I think this week will give us a better indication of where we have the potential to finish. And then last point would be, two small last points. If anybody hasn't watched that high performance interview with Lampard, I watched it yesterday. It's really, really good. Yeah. So I would encourage anybody to watch that. Really a good insight into to that. And then last thing is Baz. I think you mentioned this last week, but I'm with you. Regarding signing a striker, I think 3 at the back works better with 2 up front. Yeah. So I completely agree. So I wouldn't be totally worried about whoever we sign. Are they just going to be in for 4 or 5 games and then sitting on the bench? I would like to think that Lampard sees that we would be again, if we had Richarlison and Dom up front with this current setup and a 3 at the back, I'd be like, we're set. But anyway, so that's all from me. Appreciate you guys.
Excellent, John. Great call.
All right, take care.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
See you, John. Take care,
mate. Thanks to John. Big John ended up finishing us off there.
Yes. Last few comments on him are done. Ma says, French outlet claims how Garassi is open to join Everton amid interest in the Toffees. Striker is impressed. Scored 25 goals since 2020. So yeah, I mean this says standing at 6'7", but he isn't. Is he 6 feet? Isn't he 6'2" or 6'3"?
6'2", I think.
He's a big lad, so yeah, that'd be good. Ross says, was that Astro or Kermit the Frog? Stuart says, could we not consider a 2-year contract with Cavani, Ben Yedder, Mohamed Bayo, Payet, or not Payet?
Payet.
And Glenn says, Ped, have you watched From on Sky yet?
No, I haven't. I've heard good things, but I haven't.
There you go. There you go, From. It's all good. Sam Carson's gone 2-0 to Everton at the weekend. And Jack Al says, my thinking for Adama is with the 5 subs now, throwing them on for 20 minutes.
Maybe,
might not be a terrible option for us. It's interesting, isn't it?
No. Yeah, there we go. We're done. The match preview is on Premiere right now if you want to get early access to the match preview. Also, the new Premiere podcast is available right now in podcast and video form, both on Premiere as well. We'll be back tomorrow at 1:30 for the Daily Live Extra. That's on YouTube, so make sure this is content everywhere. The opposition preview will be live on Premiere as well tomorrow with Ned. And was it View from the Holt End? Wow. Nice one. Yeah. So make sure you check that out as well. If you want to become a Premium member, make sure you click the link in the description.
Subscribe, and 91 away from 62,000. Thank you.
Also, you've seen the QR code that's been on the screen literally all the way through the show as well. If you just scan that, that'll mean you can subscribe. Lots of people are doing it because it's good. Because it is good. Do you know what I mean? You get exclusive live shows every single day, and you get an extra video every day. There's like literally content coming out of Ned's ears, and that's no mean
There's a forum, there's discounts in the shop once you become a member. So there you go.
Loads.
Anyway,
there we go. Right,
take it easy. We'll see you later. Bye. Up the Toffees.